Hey, everyone. You are welcome back. I'm delighted to return. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're not addicted. You are not an addict. And by addict, I mean you have a habit that is not contributing anything of value into your life, but you just find yourself unable to live without that habit. Addiction comes in various shapes and sizes and in all manner of ways. It refers to the dependency or being hooked on drugs or anything else which has adverse or unbeneficial impact on a person's lives and the lives of those around that individual. You will agree with me that there are all sorts of addictions and we are all addicted to something. However, some addictions are not harmful. They can be described simply as devotion to something that's positive or something that someone has become accustomed to doing or being exposed to that such that he or she has the ability to quit from doing or engaging with it at any time. They can stop whenever they so desire. Some of us are very addicted to our jobs. The workaholics. And but when it's time to break away, we find a time and go and rest. That's not a bad addiction. However, the real addiction we speak about here is that total dependency, which transforms a beautiful creation of God into a junkie, a person who is completely dependent on drugs or any other harmful lifestyle with no inclination to get out of them. Let's take an example from the book of Acts, excuse me. The book of Acts, chapter 16, from verse 16. We read about the account of how Paul and Silas went to a place and at that location, they encountered a young girl who was possessed by an evil spirit. She had masters who made money from that spirit, which told her what would happen. So she basically prophesied, told things that will happen. This that young girl followed the apostles everywhere. She was constantly shouting out, calling out constantly that they were servants of God, the powerful God, and that the people should listen to them. She carried on for many days, and that made Paul to get very angry. And he commanded that evil spirits to come out of that girl in the name of Jesus Christ. The great thing about the end of that story of the demon possessed girl was the fact that she got delivered immediately. Instantly, she received her deliverance. Instead of being excited that she was set free from demonic oppression, her masters dragged Paul and Silas to the city leaders, accusing them of causing trouble in the city, preaching other doctrines and all sorts of things. After everything, both men were beaten up and thrown in jail. We all know how that story ended, how Paul and Silas prayed, sang, and their jails were blown open miraculously. From that story, it is easy to deduce, we can clearly see how addicted the masters of that poor lady were to using her as their conduit pipe, which poured out money, or she was simply a cash cow. They cared not about her well-being, obviously. That's one of the devastating impacts of dangerous habits. It's so devastating that it ravages everyone on its path. Sadly, being addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, food, and all the other things that present nothing of value, nothing good to anybody, has become an attraction in the world today. People take, let's use cannabis, for example, weed, which is kind of very popular. Honestly, I didn't even know what it was, how it smelled, until a work colleague pointed it out, and it's nasty. I know people who used it for as recreation. They did it socially. And there are people I know as well who whose lives have been brought to a total halt because they can no longer function in any capacity because they are constantly high. They are up there in the sky above us. They cannot interact as normal human beings. Basically, we can describe such people as junkies. They are completely zombified. I do know people like that, unfortunately. But one thing I brought here today is the fact that all hope is not lost. Because the same God who liberated that damsel in Acts chapter 16, is still working all over the world amongst us to do the same for all those people who are willing to give up such lives of dependency on substances. Those substances that only bring people misery, pain, separation from loved ones, loneliness. It makes people to live in deception, lies, lack, emptiness, and constantly seeking the next fix. The power of the Spirit of God can break that from lives. If you fall into any category of whatever addiction out there, here is your invitation to call on the name of the Lord. You can be saved. My friend, you can be saved. The Lord wants to set you free. There is hope yet for you, as long as you truly want to break that cycle of being hooked or accustomed to using harmful items. I pray that the name of Jesus Christ will set people free. When you call on his name, that you will be delivered. He will help you, lead you to the right people, the right organizations, a church, people who would care enough to support others to live that life of being dependent or addicted to harmful substances. May the Lord help, because we do need his help. He's the only one. I thank you for your time today. Until I come your way again, it's goodbye for now. As we speak the name of Jesus over our lives, families, societies that are being consumed, ravaged by all sorts of addiction. God bless you.